find it very easy to follow. That means that I perceive the speech in a straight line.
Hmm.
I've seen that sometimes it's not always easy to do that. People branch off to say something, to say a quote, and things like that. And for me, it seems that if it's too much of branching off, and I can't perceive this speech like a straight line, sometimes it's very difficult for me to follow. And for you, is there any advice you have around that? When you write a speech, how often do you try to make sure that it's in a straight line that is easy to follow?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Usually, there are five bumps in the speech: introduction, three different points in the body, and then a conclusion. And you're going to know it's a bump because the speaker will telegraph, either with their body or with their words, that they're
Mhm.
moving from one thing to another. Now, there's nothing wrong with this method, it is an organized method. But I challenge the people listening to this podcast to think of a speech as a flexible document. So you don't have to have five bumps. You could have one bump. You could tell one story, and that story could be your introduction, your body, and your conclusion. You don't even have to distinguish it into three parts. If the story's effective, it'll do everything the standard speech construction will do, but without you risking, hey, why did they branch off to this part? Because you've centered the entire speech around one idea. And a few years ago, there was a very talented world champion of public speaking who did exactly this. All his speech was about was a trip he took to India for a wedding. That's it. It
Yep.
wasn't three stories, it wasn't three parts, it was one story. And it was a straight line that was beautifully woven together. Nobody got lost. That's why he won.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, because you want to enjoy your speech and not feel stressed trying to figure out what this person is saying. Because they say, well, when you're talking to an audience, you want to make it so easy for them to understand what you're saying as much as possible. And I think a lot of people forgets that in this world whereby we just quickly want to impress people, and it's very easy to lose the audience trying to do that every time.